An attorney here in Florida says if you use a tool that he's created, you can avoid being falsely arrested for driving under the influence.
Fox 45's Dana Jay investigates would it and should it work.
Almost 30 people in America die each day due to drunk drivers. That is the tragic statistic from the Centers for Disease Control. But one of them you're about to meet says, think about this. Not everyone who's arrested for DUI is guilty of the charge, and that can have a big effect too. When's the last time you really looked at your Florida driver's license?
Operation of a motor vehicle constitutes consent to any sobriety test required by law.
Those words are right there on the front.
When is a sobriety test required by law?
When the police have probable cause to believe that you're intoxicated.
Warren Redlick says you can avoid giving officers the chance to falsely accuse you of being drunk by using this card. He calls it the Fair DUI card, and he recommends you hold it up to the window when an officer pulls you over.
Normally, people waive these rights without even thinking about it.
The front of the card declares those rights to the officer: to remain silent, to be free from unreasonable searches, to a lawyer. The back of the card has instructions for you. Do not speak. Record everything. Keep your hands where the officer can see them. Don't open your window. Hold your license, registration, and insurance up to the glass so that the officer can see them. If you do it all right, Redlick says you can avoid what he calls an unfair DUI arrest. You're innocent, but you're subject to the opinion of the officer.
The problem is that when you speak, you can be completely sober, and there are some officers who will decide your voice doesn't sound right. I've seen cases where people blow a 0.00, and the police said they smelled alcohol.
It hasn't been challenged as far as I know.
Redlick designed the card for ordinary traffic stops. He says he recorded video of himself using the card at a DUI checkpoint conducted by the Miami Police Department. Redlick shared the video with us. You can see him hold up the card and his license, and officers wave him through. We asked the Miami Police Department for comment. They declined.
Why isn't who hasn't been drinking all night, who pulls through a checkpoint, why do they need that?
Because the police sometimes arrest innocent people. They make mistakes.
A mistake led to the arrest of Whitney Boan's client.
I argued exactly that it was the subjective decision of this police officer that my client was driving under the influence of alcohol to the extent his normal faculties were impaired, but he had no actual facts or evidence to support that opinion.
That client asked us not to show you his face.
I got pulled over, coming from work after a long day, and got charged with being unable to drive.
He took a roadside test, was arrested, and refused a breathalyzer. The man was eventually found not guilty by a jury.
Why do you think the officer said that you were under the influence?
Well, I guess he thought my speech was blurred, and I was tired. I was really tired. It was like 2 a.m. while at work, and that's what happened.
He went to jail for the night and spent the next few months without a driver's license. He had to pay for an attorney. Boan says our DUI system creates a situation where those accused of DUI are considered guilty until proven innocent.
I think that there needs to be more safeguards in place where people have their day in court before they suffer immediate consequences.
Until then, she thinks Redlick's DUI card could help.
Would you use it?
I would.
It shows she blew a 000 and then...
Orlando defense attorney Corey Cohen says he has also had clients who have been falsely arrested for DUI.
She's under arrest. He takes her down to the police station, and she blows 000s twice, which means there's no alcohol in her system.
The former prosecutor says he has a solution to prevent that.
The easiest way may be to do a breath test on the side of the road prior to being arrested.
He's a bit skeptical about Redlick's card.
If you get stopped for something the cop thinks is probable cause that you're drinking, they're going to order you out of the car.
Redlick's advice: if the officer orders you to do something, do it.
If the police officer gives you a clearly stated order to roll down your window, then most people should now roll down your window. And now I, as your lawyer, can now defend you by saying the officer didn't have a proper reason for giving the order.
Some police agencies here in Central Florida tell me they're aware of the card and it won't stop them from investigating a drunk driver if they think they need to do so. And the Florida Florida Highway Patrol says they have state statute on their side. Redlick, of course, disagrees.
You know, Dan, it comes to mind here that this card might be seen by some as like a get-out-of-jail-free card, right? Maybe even encourage somebody to try and drive drunk and then get away with it by flashing the card. Did you ask Redlick about that?
I did, and he says he doesn't think a drunk person could calmly follow the directions on the card and get away with it. He also said that if an officer noticed the person fumbling around, that officer would surely order that person out of the car and arrest him.